So the lion's mane is particularly good for your brain. Most people have heard about it. It's really good for focus and attention and whatnot. It actually repairs nerves in your brain, so it can actually enhance memory as well. So keeps your brain ticking over like that, which is really good. Chaga was the next one.
Chaga mushrooms.
Yeah, so that one is particularly good for your immune system. So it actually has the largest antioxidant count in any other superfood in the world. A blueberry comes second, which a chaga mushroom has 1,000 more antioxidants than. So that's why I think it's so good for your immune system in particular. And like I said, why I've had customers.
And then we got cordyceps mushrooms.
So yeah, that's the one for fitness and athletic performance. So there's been some really good studies which I can leave a link for. It improves your VO2 max, which is your oxygen intake. So in terms of that, so it increases your endurance, anaerobic performance as well. Yeah. If you're competing, whether it be for a marathon or high rocks or CrossFit or whatever,
or 7-a-side.
You can go. If you want that extra edge, like you need to be taking cordyceps. In my opinion, you need to be drinking that because it'll give you that edge. So the Chinese Olympic team were taking it in 1993, which there was a lot of uproar about it because they broke a load of records, and it turns out they were taking cordyceps, and everyone thought they were like doping effectively. So a lot of boxers and a lot of athletes now and kickboxers and whatnot are taking it, and yeah, I think everyone should be taking that if you're in the fitness industry.
Reishi extract and maca root.
So reishi is another mushroom, so that aids with stress support and sleep. So I wear a Whoop, and I've been doing a bit of testing with it, like last month, where I wouldn't have any no crash for a couple of days, and my REM sleep would go down, and I believe it's the reishi in that which promotes that good quality REM sleep. We know how important it is for recovery. Sleep is for everything, for your brain to function the next day, for your mood. And that's why I think, especially with the caffeine-free one, if you do take caffeine normally, is a good kind of nighttime drink.
I'm going to take this tonight before my basketball match.
I wouldn't take that one. That's full of caffeine, that one.
It's only 50 milligrams of caffeine in that, so it's about half a cup of coffee's worth. So it depends.
We drank a Monster last night at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's Raj.
And I went to sleep when I got home like a baby.
I don't take caffeine after about 2 o'clock, personally, because I think it affects your sleep.
I want to buzz for a basketball match, though. Is that?
I mean, try it.
There's no one else in the game. Like it's just him. It's just him by himself in the car park.
Yeah, shooting hoops.
Once a buzz for it.
You will get the energy off the cordyceps and the maca root as well, which gives you an energy boost. It also increases your libido as well, which is an embarrassing topic, but it affects 1 in 5 men and 1 in 3 women, so it can impact your relationship. The maca root as well is particularly good for mood and hormone balance.
Right.
I swear that my lass has been giving me a bit of an easier time the last couple of months since she's been drinking it. I'd say that, or I'm too busy to pester her anymore. But
I'm going to slip some in my lass's
spike her with some no crash.
Yeah. And Joe said he wanted to say this last one.
Oh, ashwagandha root.
Yeah.
Oh, you've been practicing that. Take it, man. Ashwagandha root.
I've been on the
ashwagandha again I think that's becoming really popular now. Similar to lion's mane, a lot of people would have heard about it.
Yeah, I've took ashwagandha for a while, and it's actually I find it helps with anxiety.
Yeah. I personally think it's a bit of an all-rounder. I was taking it. That was one of the supplements I was taking before, along with lion's mane and cordyceps and a few others. But yeah, it's a bit of an all-rounder. It increases strength performance as well.
Yeah, there's performance benefits, definitely. I think the reason I was taking that was just to, if I was nervous for a big meeting or like something going on, then I'd help. It helps with that. Yeah,
it's that and reishi, which I find helps calm myself, especially for meetings. I mean, even to do this podcast.
Just full of the shrooms.
It before,
full of been on the shrooms before you got there.
Yeah. But yeah, so ashwagandha, so it's really good stress aid. Again, can help with sleep. In men, it increases testosterone levels, which is another big one. For ADHD, it's a big one. Everyone seems to be getting diagnosed with that, and ashwagandha and a few other the adaptogens and the mushrooms. It mixes perfectly with that. Again, it's another one I've had quite a few people who've got ADHD, close friends, have messaged me being like, this is helping me a lot with this. It's really helping with my focus and attention, because I know the ashwagandha does have those cognitive benefits too, so it's a good one, yeah. So in terms of the benefits, it's benefit your training, it'll benefit your brain, it'll benefit your sleep, and benefit your energy.
It's a bit like the Limitless pill. You've ever seen?
Yeah.
Limitless.
Which one do you take, the blue or the red, isn't it?
Yeah, that's like the old Matrix one.
Yeah.
I think mushrooms as well are really hot topic at the moment, because I feel like, all mushrooms are, mushrooms in general got a bit of a bad rap back in the 80s with like Ronald Reagan, when basically like mushrooms were going, really mainstream. Yeah. And then, good old Nancy.
About magic mushrooms. Yeah.
Good old, well, just mushrooms in general. I feel like there is a stigma around the word mushrooms. Yeah. Like, Nancy Reagan, addressing the nation saying don't do drugs, just say no to drugs. And I feel like, mushrooms in general kind of got like tarnished with a kind of hippie brush. Yeah. So if you are saying like 15 years ago, I'm taking lion's mane mushroom, people will be like, whoa, what's that? Yeah. Mushrooms are obviously a natural thing, a natural occurring thing. And, for a long time, people have kind of utilized mushrooms and used mushrooms, especially in different cultures around the world. Not just psychedelic mushrooms, but obviously other mushrooms as well. Psychedelic mushrooms as well, I feel like that's probably what's tarnished the reputation of using other mushrooms and things in general. So I think it's good to see a resurgence of, people going back to nature and getting away from, petroleum-based medication for every single one of their problems. Yeah. For anxiety, there's a drug for that. Yeah. There's a petroleum-based drug for that. For not being able to sleep, here's a drug. Yeah. Not getting enough energy, here's a drug.
Absolutely.
You've got ADHD, well, here's a drug. Yeah. So if you can, natural occurring, plant-based solutions to some of these problems were, even 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, were seen as very wishy-washy. Yeah. Like, you're taking mushrooms, are you? Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's good to see people taking more of a natural approach to problem solving, a holistic approach, a more well-rounded, plant-based approach, rather than just taking medication to dull the senses.
Yeah. I think as well, like, especially in the fitness world, like, people kind of don't see the value in herbal supplementation. Like, everything you see online, a lot of the, as I mentioned before, influencers you see, they are pumping themselves full of chemicals. Yeah. And like
allegedly.
Not mention any names.
We don't want to get sued. We know who you are.
Mention any names. But if the shoe fits. But yeah, so, and like it's only recently that I've started actually even taking like omega-3. I was just sort of like, in your early 20s and that, you just wing it. You just say,
of course,
because your hormones and everything are at their peak anyway. But then, I started getting injured when I was training and stuff, and you hit 30 and you started really just think, how can I make how I'm feeling now last? Yeah. So and I have seen it's not a change where it's like you'll take it and you'll just be like, whoa. It's a change where it's like it is more gradual. But I think you put it perfectly to me in our meeting. You said it was something about like you don't feel it. It's you don't feel
a certain way. You don't feel anxious. You don't feel fatigued. Yeah. I'm a big believer in natural ingredients and whatnot, and I feel like I've always chased not being fatigued, and I've tried loads of different diets. I've tried veganism, and I've stopped that now and doing like a high meat diet and whatnot, and I've always tried to not be tired and have energy throughout the day, and I do feel like this has been the answer. That's why I was taking all the supplements I was taking, and that, like I said, I made it for myself really. I just wanted something with everything in that would just give me my best life really, and like the most amount of energy and brain to be in tune more. And
I like doing these FitPro-X TVs, and the reason that I wanted to speak to people is I like to think about all the conversations that I have with people, and I try and figure out what the correlation is. I try and figure out what connects all of the people that I speak to. They create a product because they wish that product existed for them.
Yeah.
They started doing something because it was something that they wish that they'd had. And I think that has been such a theme going forward that it's kind of hard to ignore that if there is something out there that you wish exists, or you wish exists in a way. Obviously, there are things that existed previously, but there was pitfalls in them. There was things that you couldn't really get on board with them because either, you'd have to take 6 of them at a time. The taste wasn't right. They didn't have caffeine in it, whatever it may be. Going out there and creating the product that you wish existed there's something so powerful about that. And, it becomes more of a mission than a business. And I think when you've got a mission as opposed to a business, everything falls into place.
Yeah, absolutely. And even for like the gym, right? It's kind of a similar mentality in that, like, if I'm buying a new piece of kit, I'm getting it because I want that bit of kit so I can train. I can do that in my gym. Yeah. I might have gone to a different place and thought, oh, I want one of them. Yeah. And then I'm getting it for myself, but then everyone's enjoying it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
It's like with FitPro-X. I mean, we use a mentor model, so all the students who study on our course either come through a mentor or assigned a mentor, and that's somebody who is in the industry doing what that student wants to be able to achieve. They've got clients, they've built a career, they're growing a business, and they're mentored up with that person, so that they've got that person to deliver the practical, deliver the business side of things, deliver the sales and marketing, because that's what I didn't get from my PT course. I didn't get anything to do with the business side of things, the social media side of things. So I was then lucky enough to, when I got in the industry, have a mentor. So somebody took me under their wing and took me through all that. And then I realized that people didn't have that. People didn't have that mentor. They were 2, 3, 4 years into the industry, and they were kind of no further ahead. They were fumbling around, stumbling in the dark. So we decided that we would create this mentor model, and we've been doing that since August of last year, and the business has grown exponentially since that, because it's just what people needed. It's what people were crying out for. It was the missing piece to the puzzle of their education, that they had somebody who they could lean on. So, seeing that that's something that you've also went down that same route, that same journey. What do I wish existed? What do I wish I could have had to solve my fatigue issues? Get my nourishment from the mushrooms that I want to get without that high price tag.